16th International Conference on Sociocybernetics from ISA RC51, the Pandemic Era Observations and Reflections from Sociocybernetics Perspective. We have 2 days of very interesting presentations addressing the first day reflections on how to make visible and useful sociocybernetics, why is an interesting framework to address in these times of analytical challenges. And in the second session, we had the opportunity to hear very interesting presentations from our fellows and members, friends, who have put together different research processes and reflections related to COVID sociology, systemic approaches to the pandemic time. So we had a really interesting session, and what we actually like very much was the interaction that there was going on with those who were presenting and other people who was asking questions, suggestions, a lot of bibliography provided from the participants that has been really, really great. Also, I think as a highlight, it's interesting that our president from ISA, Sari Hanafi, has been present most of the sessions. He will say that he will try to connect today. Was not that much available for today, but he will make an effort, and he will be looking forward for the records and particularly the results of the conference. So today we will close our presentations part with Bernd Hornung. He's already here with us. Bernd Hornung is a former RC51 president, and his presentation is related to the analytical challenges that this pandemic time is posing to us. So I'm looking for his, yes, the COVID-19 pandemics, a bifurcation point in the evolution of modern society. After his presentation, we will arrange now the slides and so on. Luciano will be the official chair of this special session, because we will have a very interactive collective experiment. So I look forward very much. And now I ask Bernd, if you are there. I saw you there. If you can open your mic. And to Manuel to be aware for the technical parts in relation to his presentation. Bernd, are you around? I think I saw him, but now I cannot. Maybe yes, maybe no. I think he suddenly went out of the session.
Disappeared.
Yep. He has problem with his mic.
Yes. He had problems during the last part of the session. The first and the second day, but now I think he had an issue. Well, meanwhile he arrives. Fantastic. Andrew Mitchell, thank you. Okay, Bernd, are you around? Yes, now I see you. Yay. Okay. Can you open your mic? Well, let's give him some minutes, and meanwhile people is arriving. We're about to start our last presentation.
Patricia, si tienes el teléfono de Bernd, creo que necesita soporte telefónico.
Okay, I will try. So I will close my mic now. Anyone else right now wants to take it? I will check with Bernd directly if he needs some technical support.
Papa.
Sorry, Patricia.
Hi, Bernd. You have to connect your microphone.
Yes.
Okay, I gather this is Raya. Hello to everyone. I gather Patricia was asking me to lead some kind of a discussion while we figure out the technical problems. In fact, I think there's a lot to discuss. So while we are waiting for the solutions to having Bernd online with his voice, really. So I could actually ask you to think of the discussions yesterday. Is there something you'd like to raise as questions to others? So please, you can have the opportunity at the moment.
Okay, there is. Bernd has the mic open.
Wonderful.
Welcome,
Hello.
Bernd.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Wonderful.
Yes.
Fantastic, Bernd.
Difficult technology, and with the different computers, and also I usually don't have a Google account, so it's a bit confusing. Sorry for the complications.
No, it's a challenge for all of us. And I think we all appreciate the efforts that we all have made, because it's not easy for any of us. I don't know if is there any expert on this, but he's not on this session. So thank you for solving that technical parts. And well, I think you can comment on your presentation. I already said the title. Do you want to present your slides?
Well, yes.
Would you like me to, or Manuel, to present them?
Yes.
Okay. Bernd, could you put your micro? Bernd, could you put your micro closer to your mouth, please? Your microphone closer to your mouth.
No, this computer works in a different way. Sorry.
Okay.
If you can hear me this way, it's okay. Otherwise, things won't work.
But please, Bernd, you have the microphone, which is like up on the top of your head. So if you put it on in front of your mouth, I think.
Then you don't see my pretty face anymore. This microphone doesn't work.
Okay, I guess we can listen to you. Yeah.
Manuel, I think I can share I will try to share the presentation.
Okay, so try it. If you have any issue, please tell me.
Oh, I think we lost him or something. Oh, gosh. Okay, 1 second. One sec.
As we wait a few seconds, so I can actually repeat my previous question, so we can use this chance. Was there already someone who thought about some comment or question related to yesterday?
Yesterday, I saw on TV that problem about the Twitter Bitcoin
the hustle, and I completely remember what we were talking about, the infodemic and all that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I say, wow, how can people believe them? But just to start conversation.
Yeah. This was actually pretty much the ideas I got when listening to the news, that we've been so on dealing with current topics in our conference, really, like many presentations related to that. Yeah. I could actually add for my own part from yesterday. So as I was raising the issues related to ecological crisis, so I know that it's something Bernd is also very interested in, and is certainly going to highlight something related to that. So I think in terms of those questions as well, I think our community can really make a difference, because I mean, trying to influence into positive directions. But now I can see Bernd is having the microphone open. So are you ready to start?
Yes, and now can you hear me again?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, as we
Great.
As we realize. Yes.
Go ahead. I think I'm projecting your material, and can people?
No,
Yes.
we're seeing your photograph, not the presentation.
Oh, no. I said I'm presenting. Okay.
Choose when presenting, you need to choose the correct tab or the correct window.
Gracias, hermano. Gracias, amigo.
Well, so if it's so complicated, we just do it without.
It's working.
Yes, it's working now.
It's working. Bernd, you can start now. Go ahead. Bernd is out of the conference. So I have a question for all of you. I'm sharing today's session, so I want to ask you if you remember the homework for today. What are the 3 dimensions that we will be working today? If you remember them, maybe you can write it on the chat.
Sorry, should I write what the sentences I sketched, or only the questions, that topics? Sorry.
No, it's just the 3 dimensions that we will be working today. It's for just remembering and warming up our mind.
Hello.
Hello, Bernd.
Okay.
Everybody there?
Yes, Bernd.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay, so I think in the very limited time, I just can give you a very brief idea of what, well, the presentation, the paper I'm writing is really about. And we realized computers are complicated, systems are also very complex. And only, as Luhmann said, complexity can reduce complexity. So in a very short talk, it is quite difficult to get across the ideas. But I think one basic idea is that of post-pandemic bifurcation, how I call it, because I realize that people tend to argue in two directions. One direction is that the loss in economic production, in economic gains, in economic wealth, we have to make up for it as fast as possible again, after the pandemic is really over, or also starting already now. The other direction sees a chance for the climate, because climate change has hardly been mentioned in all this time where everything was about COVID, about the problems of health, about lockdown, about pandemics. But some people see also a chance which is resulting from these lockdowns, which have shown that a life is possible in a different way. Also, although it is very difficult, of course, and it creates a lot of economic problems, a lot of personal problems, nothing to say about all the deaths and the diseases, the health problems people have. But a second direction says maybe after this terrifying experience of COVID-19, we may have a chance to change the course of the planet, the course of our modern societies, which are based on a lot of economic production. And instead of producing more to make up with the loss of production, which we are having still, this direction of thinkers has the idea that it may be a chance to steer the economies in a way that we do less, that we can protect the climate. So that is why I think this catastrophic situation has a chance, a bifurcation, a possibility of bifurcation in two ways. One way, which will certainly make the climate problems, which is only a part of the ecological problems, much more serious. On the other hand, there may be a direction to reducing economic output, economic production, output of dangerous products, output of CO2, and going back to a smaller production of economic goods. Because, as I said, we have seen that life is possible also with a little bit less. And in this way, we may take the chance, and Sociocybernetics may contribute to give us some orientation how this second branch of this bifurcation, which we can see, may take reality. So on our planet Earth, we are having only limited resources, as after all, the only input is coming from the sun, and the only output is warmth, heat, which is going into space. And since the last century, also all the garbage of space travel and space instruments, which is now orbiting around our Earth. Now, what has Sociocybernetics possibly to contribute? I think there are three key issues. One issue is to look at long-term consequences of the pandemic, but also in a wider perspective at the longer-term consequences of our use of limited resources. A second aspect is to look at the side effects of our present way of life, of our present way of running the economy, of using the resources. And a third part is, I think this is typically systemic and cybernetic, is circular causality, circles of causes, so that we don't only have one cause, one effect, another cause, another effect, but effects which work back onto the causes. Now I can see at least 4 very important such.
Okay, Bernd is out of the meeting. I don't know what happened. Maybe he have a connection problems with his connection.
German technology, probably.
Yes. Okay. Patricia, maybe the phone, it could be a good option for Bernd. Yes, I'm going to share with you the pin in WhatsApp.
Sorry, guys, but I cannot reach him by telephone. So I think we will give 2 minutes more to see if he can connect. And if not, we will have to move to the next part of the session. Let's see, maybe he connects again. We'll try to reach him again.
Okay, maybe we can continue with the next part of the session, and if Bernd come on, he continue at the end. Maybe we can call with him by phone after, and please and record him to put it in the webpage too.
Yes, I cannot contact him by phone because he has not updated his personal information. So we don't have we'll check again, but I don't think we have it. And no, we don't have it. Some people provide the telephone number and other don't. So we don't, unfortunately, we don't have his data. But he had several technical problems and other situations. That's why he was not able to be in the first presentation, in the first day, which was his day. However, we do have his slides, and what I propose, we actually proposed him before, and we will try to convince him, is to make his video. His video, like the others who present also video. So I think it's a homework for us to facilitate him the recording the video and to have the presentation, no, like a video as most of the presenters did. And of course, I think if he joins again, I think we can continue after the activity to converse on his proposal. I was projecting his slides, so they will be available also on our website. And now, Luciano, if you want, you can take the mic and lead the other activity, and I will try to keep an eye and contact him. Maybe he joins again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Patricia, and thank you all of you for being here. Okay, let's start with today's experiment. We will be doing a really nice and new experiment for all of us at RC51. So keep going and let's start. So this is the homework for today. I was remembering you this one. So for a manifesto, we will need three dimensions: intentions, motives, and views. And this is the short agenda for today. These 4 words. Then we will be going to the board, and then afterwards, and then the conference closing by our president Patricia. 4 words. This is some of my choosing of definitions for manifesto from the Merriam-Webster, the Wikipedia, and the manifestos.net places, so you can read it. And the yellow highlighted one is the definition we will be using today. A written manifesto is a written statement declaring publicly the intentions, motives, or views of the issuer. This is a curious word because issuer, maybe it's better to have an observer on that, so you can have a Sociocybernetics word on that. Okay, it's not a new word, and I found those examples in this place. Manifestos.net try to keep a stock of different manifestos, and in my reading of that, I found these 3 that in some sense have some relationships with sociocybernetics. All of them in the 20th century, and maybe this 21st century will be having a lot of new manifestos also. We will be building today the Sociocybernetics Manifesto. Okay, the board. The board is the tool that we will be using today, and I will be giving you a short instruction on how to use it. As I said before, it's an experiment, so I think it will be new for all of us, and we will be learning within us and between us and with us. So this is the activity plan for the experiment. We will be having a general instructions. Then we will be remembering the dimension for a Sociocybernetics Manifesto. Then we will have the how to use the board. Those times are we have plenty of time for doing this, but maybe it will be taking less time, and then we can have more time for other things. Then we will have a remember, And then the core part of the experiment. Add your sticky on intentions, add your sticky on motives, and then add your sticky on views. So that's the reason for the homework for today, because you will be adding your ideas through the tool to our board. Okay? After that, I think we will be having a break if everything's going okay. And then we will be have a voting up session when we will need to read the others' ideas and choose and give a hands up on them. So it's a kind of selection. And then we will have an open conversation on all the experiment, the ideas emerging in the conversation, in the board use, and so on. Okay, so remember we have 9 parts to go, and a really interesting experiment to try on. Okay, so part 1, general instructions. First and only instruction, please follow the instructions. This is a very important instruction. Second, this is a co-working, co-learning, working environment in an online board. So it's a really nice and exciting experiment. Third, please take care of others' ideas, because you can erase other idea or you can change other ideas. So it is all open to you. So take care of others' ideas, of course, or your idea also. And of course, participate. And that's it. We only take 30 seconds for a 5 minutes instructions. Okay, we're going okay. Part 2. At this point, I want to take a little more time on that, because those are the dimensions. So you know it. And what I will like to do at this moment is open the mix and open for short comments on that. If you have any question or if you have an explanation on that, it's up to you. So go ahead. Notice that I have an intention. I choose to have the word socio-cybernetics and the questions related to the dimension. So is this the correct question for that dimension? Why? It's related to motives. What? It's related to views. But do you think we need another question for clarifying the dimension?
Could you please give an example of what you are asking us to give you, please?
Okay. Intentions. What is the goal of socio-cybernetics, the purpose? So my intention could be to try to save the world tomorrow. My purpose or goal, the socio-cybernetics, was to try to understand how people relate each other. Maybe I haven't thought of examples, but it's a good exercise. If everyone finds a good example, please go ahead and tell us. What for are you at this conference online? Why are you here? And what are you looking at this conference? Could be a good reason.
The second one is easier and clear. The first one, I think it's harder.
Okay. Yes. Do you think there could be another kind of question for the dimension?
Actually, I opened my mic. This is Raya, and reading the chat. So I'm fascinated with Yuanko's text there. So please, could you open it in speaking?
Luciano.
Yes.
I want to say something about the three themes that you put it. And it is about how we are using sociocybernetics. As you know, I have been sometimes critics because I think that sociocybernetics has a lot of thoughts, ideas, and propositions. But as you have seen, in Mexico, we have done some researchers applying cybernetics. So my intention is to say that your propositions in intentions, motives, and views are very important. I am here just to open my mind, because I will say that in America, in all the countries, not United States and Canada, we live another world in pandemic that you are living in Europe or Asia or other countries. I think that our reality is very difficult. We in Argentina, you said yesterday, Colombia, you are asking now, Ecuador and Mexico, our problems are very different than you have in Europe or other countries. We, as universities, researchers, have a different position, as you can say. We understand what is happening not only in our country that is very complex, but we understand what is happening in the other countries in the world. We are trying to understand. We think that some countries are very good in their positions, but they have problems. And we are looking those programs. I mean, I think the people that is in this session, I think that we cannot discuss the problems in our countries. So one of the propositions I made for sociocybernetics is to have a research practice on our problems and not ideas. We have seen a lot of ideas in sociocybernetics, and some of we, not all of we don't agree with that position, because that is only ideas, conceptions, what may be the possibility, but not the real possibility. We have a lot to do in America, a lot in education, health, and even the most difficult part, economics and politics. But we can do something in those fields. But what we can do in this session, like Sociocybernetics with many words, is to try to research global problems, not only the health that is going to be very important in all the world, maybe, and maybe more important here in Mexico, but we can see problems of communications to knowing the other problems of countries. And I think that that will be a good possibility in research in sociocybernetics. Thank you for this time.
Okay, thank you, Pepe. We have a lot of interesting comments over the chat, so we will be taking note of that, because all of those ideas will be on the document trying to figure out this manifesto. I want to continue because of the time also, and we will be having time to put the ideas like Pepe over the board. So take a look at the verb on the dimensions. This is to do or bring about with the intentions. Motives are to act, and views are looking at or regarding. Okay, so I think at this point of the experiment it's enough to have this starting ideas, and the conversation just started. Okay, so let's continue. The part 3 is how to use the board. So I will ask you to please take a cup of a drink of coffee and put a lot of attention on this, because it's new for all of us. So it's not hard to work with the board, but please take note of this. We will be using a tool that is called Ideaboards. Of course, it's a team collaboration tool. And we will be collectively brainstorming, getting inputs, and reflecting and retrospecting about what everyone will be writing on the board. And the key elements of the board are just 3. The board itself. The board has section on it. We have selected three sections for this experiment that correspond to the dimensions. And the last and the personal element of the experiment is the sticky, like a post-it. So this will be a post-it session, but an online one. Okay, and this is the board. This is an example. All of this is the board. The board has a menu. You can, in here, you can search for words when the board starts to fill up. And this is the section. We here had 3 sections. First section, second section, and 3. The first is past, the second is present, and the third is future. This is an example. This is not our board that we will be having. You will find here the dimension: intentions, views, and motives. And this is a sticky. And this button with a plus is the way you can add a sticky over a section. Okay? So as I said, this is the main element here, because you can write on it, and you can move it, and you can vote, and you can edit, and you can delete your sticky or others' stickies. So that is the board, and welcome to the sticky. The writing area is this one. You can write anything, everything you want on it. Of course, after you have added, this is the button for added. If you click on this button, and then you will have this short sticky over your screen. You can edit or update your sticky or others' stickies. You can vote up, take care, only up, not down. This is a very positive tool. And of course, you can delete stickies, yours and others. So as a review, please take care. What can you do with Ideaboards? Read the stickies, add the stickies, edit the stickies, vote up a sticky, move or delete, yours or others. So everything is collaborative except the add a sticky, that is yours. It's up to you. Okay? You can add as many stickies as you want. this is an anonymous tool. So the only way to say that your idea is your idea is that you write some kind of tag in the writing area. Okay? If you don't want to leave your mark on a sticky, it's anonymous. No one will be known whose that idea is. So that takes us to the part 3. Remember, please follow the instructions. We will be co-working with online board. Take care of others' ideas and please participate. Okay, I think we are in a good time at this moment. We have synchronized our clocks so we can continue with the experiment, and this will take us to part 5. So part 5 is the interesting part. I will be sharing the sticky URL link over the chat, so you can take a look at the board. Okay, I will be going there, and here we go. Everyone is ready? There it is. So that's your board, and that's our board, and take a look at them. Please do not do anything yet, because the next part will be giving instructions on how to act. Okay? Is everyone over the board now? Have you seen it? Let me know if you are seeing the board. Okay. Thank you. So you will be finding the title. The title is Sociocybernetics Manifesto. At this moment, I will be speaking only, and please take a look at your board. At the left, you will be find a section that it's called intentions, and the definition that will be at the beginning using. Then at the middle, below the title, you will find the second section that is motives with the definition. And at your right, you will have the last dimension on the third section, that it's views, with also the definition. So please, everyone, make sure that it's there and ready to the next next part of the experiment. Okay, now the board is starting to get alive. Someone add something. So with no problem, we can take to the part 5, and this is a 15 minutes part. So the part 5 is easy. Please add your sticky about intention. Please only at the intention. Okay, so it's 7 in Colombia. It's 7:53. The UTC time is 12:53. So we will be have up to 1 o'clock or 13 and 5 minutes work. So go ahead and put your stickies on the intentions section. Okay, it's up to you. And during this time of the experiment that everyone could be reading and writing on that section, of course, you can open your mic and make your comments. Go ahead.
Thanks for the instructions, Luciano. Could you please project on or present with your computer the idea boards? So
Okay.
if someone wants to see it from the call, or if someone cannot connect or don't want to participate, you can. Luciano will be projecting the board for you, so we can all see the how this is advancing, because it's coming along quite quick.
This is the happening now. Oh, now we have a lot of stickies.
Great. Of course, if you get into the idea boards, which I will paste again, most of you might be there, but just in case you miss the link, I will put it again in the chat.
Of course, as in every one experiment, a new one experiment, are people that is not following instructions. That's okay. That's no problem. That's a problem of the instruction and also of the tool. Now we have a sticky over the Moritz section, and we also have votes.
Yeah, but sometimes we do sometimes we do mistakes. It's not only that we want to misbehave, but we also.
Okay, yes, of course. So,
but I think we can move.
The tool allows that, and that is no problem. It's okay.
I will. I will not do strange things. Okay, I'm gonna switch off my mic.
This is bigger.
Luciano,
Yes.
How I am Margarita. What some stickies has number 2 and number 3 or number 1 or number?
Those are the
0?
votes. Those are the votes. You can vote for stickies. If you like
okay,
it,
okay,
you can. But it is supposed to vote at the end of the session. But if it's okay if you want to do it now.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. As I said, this is an experiment. It's a new tool for all of us, and we found this idea board as a tool and a really open and really easy to use tool. So we will be having backups of all of this work because it's a international, all over the world work with a lot of good ideas. So we have to have a really good export. I can export the board, so I have the ideas as a document with the votes, and I will be having a good backup of all this work because it's a nice work. Now we have 17 ideas on no more. 24. Good. How you find the tool? It's easy to use? The board is easy to use.
It's easy and nice.
Good.
Yes, Luciano, it's wonderful.
Thank you,
I'm
Bernard.
having fun.
Okay, that's the idea. And put all the ideas you have all over the way you understand what for sociocybernetics. Sociocybernetics, what for? That's the intentions dimension. We have 5 more minutes to add stickies on the intention section. So I will be reading. There are a lot of interesting ideas there. Look that you can click on any one of the stickies you find, and you can add your comment, editing the thing that is right in there. You can have a slash, and then you say, what is this? Or please clarify this idea. Have you tried it? I will be doing that on this one. So this is a multidimensional and a tool, and you can have a board in or any sticky. Okay, 3 more minutes to go on the intentions dimension. We have 32 stickies on the intention section. Okay, 1 more minute. Okay, good work. Really, really interesting ideas over there. I will be doing a backup at this moment so we can have our memory here. And it's time, I think, to go to the second section. You can still keep working on the first section and reading and so on and adding other idea that came up in your mind. But now it's time to go to the center section, Sociocybernetics. Why? What motives should have the Sociocybernetics field through the people and doing that kind of work. So please go ahead, and we will be having another 15 minutes to do that, 10, 15 minutes to do that. So now we have 2 ideas, so for sure it will be keep filling up.
Luciano, a question for you. Is there a possibility to take the mic now, or is more like a full attention on this thing and we discuss afterwards?
I think it's good to have mic open. If you want to ask a question to others or make a comment, it's really good to have that.
Okay. Well, yes, if someone wants to comment while is writing something, of course, the challenging part is that we are putting bright ideas in this board, paying attention in the chat, and maybe doing something else. So this is already quite complex, but I think we can comment on something, and I can see that there are a lot of stickies coming around. Yes, if you feel like if you want to say something, Mark Belinsky, if you want to say something now or after the exercise, I think today is for that, to do a very interactive yet dialogical session.
Well, I don't want to interrupt this process. Maybe it's better to do it afterwards. I don't know. Whichever everybody thinks is better.
Okay, Mark. We will have plenty of time at the end, around 20 minutes or so, but it's up to you also. No, for me, it's okay if you want to do that comment or question, because as I said, this is an experiment, it's a new experiment. So this is our first version of the experiment, and it's good to have anything happening so we can take note and do a second version of the experiment.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's better to do the experiment first and then maybe have a few minutes,
Okay, it's okay. Thank you.
I just discovered that you can vote by your own idea several times. So I'm not giving any kind of ideas to anybody, but
Okay.
Luciano, are we in the voting moment, or is going to be later?
It's going to be later, but people like to vote, I think.
Okay.
So we will be having.
That is part of the experiment. I'm taking notes of
Yes, please.
Sarah comment. Thank you, Sarah.
Because some other tools, I don't know for sure, but maybe the votes are closed up to the manager of the experiment open the voting session, but in this tool everything is open anytime. So it's a really emerging tool. Anything is happening, and it's up to the people sharing their ideas. But we will have a formal part for voting and for doing the voting stuff and other things. I think we will be being creative during the minutes reserved for voting.
Maybe it's an experiment to discover people don't follow the rule 1.
I think this experiment has been doing in the humanity for all of the time.
Yes, I know.
If
But
everyone follows instruction, the world will be different. Maybe good or maybe bad.
I think it's impossible.
It looks like the what for question. Oh, where is the what for?
Intentions?
No, I'm looking after the definition of the intention, but I cannot find the sticky. Maybe it's gone. Yes, it's gone.
It's not gone. Somebody erased it.
Oh,
Probably
okay.
not
The first one.
intentionally. Yeah, I think it was not intentional.
I will be adding it again because we need to have a.
I'm not sure if you can put it on top. Probably if you
No.
add it, it will go
I
to
will
the
try it.
bottom, not to the top. I'm
think
not sure. I don't use this one. I use other ones, other tools. That's when I assume it's going to be on there.
Let's check. I think I can do that because I can move stickies.
This is Eva speaking. I have just moved, I have sorted it after, oh, someone sorted it back. It's nice to sort it after the voting, if this makes sense.
Say again, please, Eva.
I just sorted it after vote, which could make some sense.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, you can
Yes,
see it.
we will be doing that at the end.
Okay,
Because
then that's great. I do it. Yes, I did it back. I did it back. So it's now again as it was brought in. Fine.
But not sure if you do the sorting,
Yeah.
it's only for you or for all the people. I'm not sure. I think.
I see. I see. Okay, maybe it was only for me. Yeah, but nevertheless, I withdraw it. So it's now as it was initial, and I will not intervene further.
Okay, and I found that I can move the stickies between sections, but not reorder in the section.
Yes, I see. Yeah.
But anyway, I will be putting here the definition.
Yeah.
So we will not lose that.
Yeah.
It looks like the intention what for is giving more things to share that more maybe because of the question.
I have learned that you can merge two stickies from the same, let's say, the same type. Fortunately, if you want to do that, it asks you if you want to do it. So I didn't do it. Don't panic, but it's possible. Because maybe on a different round, you find that two can be merged and you can do it.
Yeah, but I think it's good if only the moderator can, so that really everybody has the same chance to put in. So it's good. So anyway, you can sort it and compile it afterwards. I would say this is maybe a next step, ordering them or creating links between. But it's a very nice.
And Eva, you can also download as Excel all the stuff and then work on Excel. To do
We usually use for these things Mural and can export it as PDF, which is also nice.
Yes.
Maybe you can also do it at Ideaboards, because then you get the visual impression if you can export it as PDF. I don't know, but I can check.
Good. Good idea.
Yes, you can export it as PDF, which is also very nice. Yeah. Because then you have the visual expression, how it was developed. It's very lively. Yeah, then. But nevertheless, a very nice instrument. Close to Mural, but much easier to use. I like it. Good idea.
Thank you,
Good idea
Eva.
to use it.
So 2-3 more minutes to share your ideas on the motives of sociocybernetics. Okay. We also have questions disappearing. If you want to use the tool, take into account that when you create a new board, it's the only time in the creation that you can define the title and the section definition or words. After that, you cannot edit them. So if I want to change, for example, intentions to add here what for, I cannot do that. I will have to do a new board. So it's a planning issue, but it's okay. It's not a really good big issue. So 1 more minute for asking or adding a sticky on something such as a need or desire that causes you to act based on sociocybernetics. What causes you to act based on sociocybernetics? Okay, so I think it's time to go to the part 7 of this nice and collaborative and great experiment. So please start to add your sticky or your stickies about views of sociocybernetics. And the question is what? A mode or manner?
Somebody.
Yes. Sorry.
No, somebody erased the sticky, the first sticky.
Yes,
No?
I will be adding it at this moment. Okay, thank you for letting me know, and I will be adding that at just in 10 seconds.
Can you do rollbacks with this tool?
No.
Do you know if you can do rollbacks?
At this moment, no.
Okay.
So that's the way I try to be very specific on following instructions and telling you as instructions that please take care of others' ideas. A mode or manner of looking at or regarding sociocybernetics. Now we have 3 stickies on views section. I inviting all of the people in the meet. We are 35, 34. If you haven't give your ideas, try it. Just one is okay, but at this moment we have 35 intentions. So anyone, I think everyone give its intentions. We have 30 motives, and we still waiting for more motives. And at this moment we have 10 views. Good. Patricia, I think we are really creating here a plan for work.
It's coming along quite
for a future one.
At this point, I will ask you if it is not on the real original planning of the experiment, but I think could be really enrichment that if you think that a specific author, paper, book can help the newcomers or we as a group of people to learn more about sociocybernetics, what will be a good author or article to read on intentions, on motives, or on views? So we can also add some kind of sources or reference on each and every one of those reflections. Okay, 3 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Now we have 15 different views. 20? No, 16. I will do an export at this point.
I have tried that when you merge two, it writes on top the first one, then a line of not dots, the other ones, and then the second sticky note.
Okay. Okay, it's 8:30 in the morning in Colombia, and I think it's 1:30 in UTC time. In Zaragoza, where Patricia is located, is 3:30 p.m. Okay, so the bar will be open, but I think it's good moment to have a pause of 7 minutes. 7 minutes. So please keep the ideas working, but we are formally in pause and for a break at this point. Okay, so see you in 7 minutes.
Okay, I can go to the toilet, no?
Of course.
Nobody knows if you can. You should.
Hello again, everyone. 7 minutes past flying. We hope Jaime it's okay now.
I am getting sleep.
Oh, it's nap time. Okay. Just an hour to go. Don't worry. Okay, so thank you again, everyone, for sharing your ideas. And the board is still open and receiving people. Receiving ideas, sorry. So we will be waiting just a minute so everyone is coming back. Now I can see Bernard is there, Ilnur, Raya and Jaime, Toru, Sheslat. I cannot see Sheslat. David is returning. Andrew, Saburo.
Hi again.
Okay. Hello. This is it's a good time to remember that you can drop your pin over the Padlet. I will be sharing the Padlet at this moment for just 2 minutes, so you can see how in the world, where in the world are we? It's a really worldwide conference. Take a look.
I have a question about that.
Okay.
Can I share this slide with all of the marks, like in Twitter or anything like that? Is it okay for you if I do it?
Yes, of course. Why not?
It's okay.
I have to ask because all of the names are there.
If you want to be without problem, you can maybe take a picture and just show the picture with no names. Take a picture of this.
Okay,
and
perfect.
say, I am in the RC51 conference. It's all over the world. I think we need more people from. We don't have people from Africa.
I know how to do it with my name. What I was asking if I could use the big picture.
Yes. This is also an anonymous tool. If you want not to share anything of you, you can just put where are you, your place, and there is no name and no user. Okay, so let's keep our work on our experiment. And so remember that we have a 9-part experiment, and we still have left part 8 and part 9, and then we will be finishing the experiment. So part 8 is voting, and part 9. So I think it's a good time to start voting. You remember that you can only vote up. You cannot vote down, and you can vote as many times as you can in every sticky. So it's possible that we can find 1,000 votes in one sticky if you really love that sticky. So I will be adding a part in this part 8, but you have to do it with really care. That thing is that you can vote, but also if you find a sticky whose idea or its idea it's not in that section but in other one, you can move it. If you find a sticky on the views section, but you think that it should be in the intentions section, you can move it. So take care if anyone move your sticky, or if anything moves. So please go ahead. We're at part 8. Vote on stickies and move stickies. So we have the 3 sections of our growing manifesto start taking form. We have 10 minutes to do that. I will be sharing my screen. So this is a really interesting part because you have to read anything and try to make votes. One issue here is why you give a vote to a sticky? What does it mean to you? I think it's very different for anyone, the reasons of giving a vote to a sticky, but at this time it's an open question, so it's no problem with giving votes and sharing it. because I think in a second version of the experiment, maybe we can give the criteria for voting, but could be another board to make up the criteria for voting. So we have three more minutes for voting and moving stickies. I haven't seen movings, maybe one, or I'm not sure. I think I haven't seen people moving stickies. We have 35 intentions stickies. We have 33 motives stickies, and we have 29 views stickies. And we have a lot of voting. One more minute for the voting and moving part. Okay, so I think it's time to start closing the experiment. We are finishing part 8 of the voting that still keeps going for the next minutes. I think we will be no closing the board, and in real terms, there is no way to close the board. If you have the link, you have access to it, and there is no way to close. But I will be doing an export at this moment because it's some kind of the final version at this time. So I have now the PDF export version, and then I will have the Excel, so we can work on that after that. So at this point, I think it's time to go to the final part, and part 9, and it's an open conversation. So please participate, go ahead and give your impressions, your ideas, and anything you can share with us about the experiment and the socio-cybernetics growing up ideas. Who want to start? I haven't been following the chat, so if Patricia or Manuel can help us, or Raya, I think there are a lot of questions. I think it's really moving.
Well, I can start with a comment. I think the tool is interesting, but I think the group made it made very interesting contributions. This is inedit for all of us. The RC51 hasn't made these before, so this is, as Luciano said, an experiment for all. And I think we have, of course, it could be in a different way, with more time, with other instructions, but so far it has proved that we can build collectively an interesting proposal. In terms of logistic, if you want, I recommend to export as PDF, and you can read in a different way all the ideas. And it's interesting if you want to give a bit more of time. It is good reading, and it's different to this to the other version that we have. So I think every stick requires a bit of analysis and time. Maybe for the next experiment, as I was saying, we need more time, but so far it has been a fantastic experience.
Thank you, Patricia. Yes, it's really nice, and I think everyone can export to their own the ideas. So it's a really a good program for reading, for thinking, for producing, for preparing the work for the next conference, etc. Anyone wants to share, to participate?
Yeah, this is Eva speaking. So maybe you already mentioned it, Luciana, but so I thought, or I expected, that this undertaking will have a follow-up, because a manifesto. So did you already explain it? I do not remember how the next steps will be.
Not yet, Eva. I think your idea is good, great, and that's the idea of this final conversation: what to do next with this, and how to follow up the manifesto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually you need a kind of editorial board. You have maybe 2, 3 people, maybe not 7 or 10, but you have a few collecting and starting a first draft. And I would propose then to send a first draft, a sketch out, at least to the participants, and maybe later on to a wider audience. But maybe in the first draft makes sense to send out to those who have participated, because they are familiar already, which was here. And so we all can work together on the manifesto and provide comments and so on, formulations. But yeah. That's, I would say this is the most natural, or maybe you had other ideas, I don't know, but I would propose it.
Really good. I think we have Fabio here. Fabio is our journal editor.
Yes,
so
Fab, it's good.
Fabio also can figure out and ask what will he need to do a special edition or something like that for the journal with the manifesto.
Yeah.
And we also have the newsletter, so I think we can also use that as to disseminate the outcome. And Eva, we didn't want to give a closed approach to it, but to see how it builds. It came quite interesting. I think your idea of create a working group is interesting. I think we can get volunteers from the participants, because this is very open, and maybe to have 4 persons working on this. And also, I think it also, I think we can get, if we have the PDF, you can download it by yourself, or we can send you the final, this final open version, because then for the manifesto, we have to close it down. But I think it's really useful if we go in a reflective way through all these proposals, and some of them can go to the manifesto, and others are very specific and concrete ideas for further projects, like, for example, the glossary that was talking Juancho, or other proposals there. So the thing is, this is the result of a collective work, of collective intelligence that we have done in real time, in an international setting, online setting, and in time of pandemic, so which also have to add to this scope. So we cannot leave it here, just here. So ideas for the follow-up, welcome. And I think we can use the next 10 minutes to discuss. So, and the board, the RC51 board, we can provide support for the next steps, of course.
Patricia and Luciano?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I think it was issuing the special follow-up issue of the newsletter for this experimental conference. So if we share some ideas, we can use the newsletter. So I can work on this.
Thank you, Toro. Toro is our newsletter editor with Andrew. So I think we have around 90 ideas. Not all of them, I think, just few or none has the author of the sticky, but any one of these can start a conversation. So through our website, our social networks, we can start conversation, because, as example, Sarah was giving an idea of clarifying ideas. So maybe you can download the ideas and mark the ones that you want to be clarified. So the author can start a conversation clarifying it, because at this moment is anonymous, but with that start point, we can have a conversation. The other interesting point that I want to share with you is that this is the first conference I attend where any one of us is looking at any one of us faces. Because in conference, you're sitting back looking at the presenter, but here you are looking at everyone anytime. So it's really nice to anyone is a presenter anytime. So the conference are us, not the conference itself. We are the conference. And I'm really happy with the experiment, because I think I found the tool just, I think, the last week. There are, and you start to find the tools when you find the first one. But I think the tool, it works fine with this number of people. I have to thank you for following instructions. I think at the beginning, none of all the people was following instructions, but at the end, yes. And anyone and everyone got captured by the tool and by the ideas and by the sharing ideas. So thank you, and that's my comment at this point.
May I take a short comment for the work? I just want to congratulate Luciano for this initiative. I remember you actually had the idea or a proposition for Porto Alegre as well, like for the live conference, and I think it takes a lot of preparation and courage to prepare something like this to an online event, having people from different continents, and this was so much fun. Yeah, thank you so much. We learned a lot.
Yes, thank you, Raja. More comments, ideas?
Sorry, maybe a few words. I couldn't. I'm at work, so I had those defenses. I had to leave from time to time. But of course, it was a very good event. Very good. It's very good that we talked, that we met. But of course, it's the fate of social cybernetics demands for a deeper discussion. But I think they will find time. We have also to think about an option of having the conference in Brazil also in this form, because we don't know now. There is a disaster over there, and I don't. We have to take this option into account. That I don't know. I wish Brazil does everything well. I mean, goes well there, but we have to consider already an option, the technical option, to some technical aspects that we will have to see the conference in the same manner, in the same way. Okay, so thank you, congratulations once again, and sorry I could participate only in that part of the virus. Of course, we have to go deeper, but this is just another story. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I will be starting to close the sharing of this part of the presentation, and just start to share again the original PowerPoint presentation. Remember that we are at part 9, the final part of the experimental of the construction of the manifesto. So if you're okay, and if you don't have more comments, maybe Patricia, we can go to the final part of the conference, if Bernd can present and if your works can be done. Okay. Thank you again for participate in the experiment, and we will be in communication about that. Okay.
Thank you, Luciano.
Well, thank you, Luciano. Thank you again. A wonderful experiment. He's one of our experts in innovation. Of course, it's better when applied in our own fields, and we benefit a lot. We learn a lot with this exercise. And I think we have a lot of homework for in a collective way. It depends how much do you want to engage. Depends on you. We are a very open group. We would like you all on board. Many of you are members of our RC51, others are newcomers. This is, as we said, a very interdisciplinary group, although we are based on the International Sociological Association. We are very proud of having many non-sociologists, from the they become sociologists in the process, but with other frames of thinking. I think our group benefits a lot of having different perspectives to analyze what we think have to be named as complex problems, complex social problems. So the first homework is to export your PDF, this basis for Sociocybernetic Manifesto, and think through it and make suggestions. Engage if you want to engage in this editor working group. You can put your name here in the chat, or make us a suggestion. We welcome you. Even if you have a lot of experience on this, we welcome you. If you don't have experience and you want to learn with us, welcome too. With this session, which is much more interactive than others, we close our 16th international conference, but this is also, as all the time, this is also a beginning. I'm looking at the Padlet now. You have it there in the chat, and we are in a very different places of the world now, and we are talking in this moment in real time, all of us. This is a conversation. Important to say, I mentioned it in the first day, Sociocybernetics has like around 40 years, no? The 40 years of being shaped, the concepts, the conceptual frameworks, and most of everything started with a conference. So I like to think that conferences are good space for meaningful conversations. That's the idea of investing in a conference, investing not only our budget if we have to travel somewhere, but also our time. And I think in this moment we need to make meaningful conversations to make sense of what is going on in terms of this pandemic era, in terms of COVID, in terms of what is coming along, in terms of the real affectations, in terms of the tools that we are using to analyze what is happening. And the conversation about this is just coming, it's just starting, okay? So we welcome you for the RC51 to keep this conversation, to contribute with your research you're doing. There are plenty of questions we can do to the presenters. I think it was just a start of ideas that we gave. All the emails of the presenters are in the booklet. You can keep there the conversation. You have also the videos in our YouTube channel. And I think more of this will come. I think more of this will come. We will talk it in the board. I think we have to make available. I think we have to make easy to understand and useful all these tools that we're working with, or all these socio-cybernetic proposals are necessary to translate into a practical way to the audience. And so that's the idea, the basic idea of the conference was to open up this global conversation, despite the fact that in many of our countries we cannot go out, despite the fact that we cannot cross the borders. We still are working very hard as a group and welcoming all of you. I think Mark Belinsky wants to make a small intervention. Of course, there's time for this, and there will be some practical announcements. Please do not disconnect. Give us spare some minutes for give you information about the board, about these activities that we are doing, where you can get the information, and other practical aspects, such as the evaluation of the conference, because we need your feedback, and also the current research projects that we are embarking with some of our RC51 active members. So Mark, please just take the mic. And after that, Manuel and I will give the details of this useful information.
Thank you, Patricia, for letting me clarify some of the points that I made during my presentation in the first session. I introduced a few concepts, and I just would like to give some real-life examples that illustrate that these are not just abstract concepts, that these are real, specifically soft forces, that these are real forces that can be measured and could provide knowledge to do computer models of social phenomena. So I introduced two main concepts, functional idea and the soft force. We can use an analogy of a building. When you have a brick and mortar, you can build any type of building, ranging from a garage to a presidential palace, as long as you have functional specifications to do it. But if you don't have these two components, it's very difficult to build. I strongly believe that the functional idea is like the brick, and the soft force is like the mortar, and the social systems which are employing information systems, they employ these two components to evolve. It's similar, biological systems, they mimic physical systems. For example, in a molecule, the atoms are connected through molecular forces. When an agent is connected to a social structure, he is connected with soft forces. Let's say, for example, you buy a house, a beautiful house with beautiful architecture that has a beautiful lawn, and you get a loan from a bank with low mortgage rate, interest rate, and the property taxes are low that you can afford it. And you move in, and all of a sudden, in a few weeks, you realize that there is a chemical plant nearby. And when the wind blows towards you, you get the odor, which could be potentially dangerous to your health, and also it's unpleasant. So here's the decision process. Maybe you are trying to decide whether you should stay in the house or leave the house and sell it. We have multiple soft forces at play in your subconscious. Basically, our conscious and subconscious are like two processors that in a computer that share the same memory. And the way the subconscious gives signals to the conscious is through a set of symptoms or signals. In our case, it's emotions that play that role. There's a set number of emotions, but infinite number of life situations, and somehow they translate into this, limited number of emotions, this infinite number of life situations. So when you look at this dilemma that you have with the house, you have positive forces that attract you to the house, and you have negative soft forces that repel you from the house. And the nature of those soft forces is very different. For example, the beauty of the house, the architectural beauty, the lawn, the trees, the flowers, these are sensory perceptions that result in a soft force vector in your subconscious. So the origin is sensory perception. Then you have the odor from the factory. That's also a sensory perception, but it's a sense of smell. In the first case, it's a sense. It's the vision that results in a soft force. Also, you have the functional idea like a bank loan. Another functional idea like property tax. Also, not all of your kids have separate bedrooms because this house doesn't have a lot of bedrooms, so your kids have to sleep in bunk beds. So that's a physical reality that creates a negative soft force. So you see that there are multiple origins, and the soft force serves as a common denominator that puts everything into the same equation, unequal on a level playing field. And your decision is basically based on the resulting vectors, positive or negative. You know, in this case, positive are low interest rate from the bank, low mortgage, low property tax. But then you have negative, and also the positive is the beauty, architectural beauty of the house. But the repelling forces are the odor from the factory and the physical reality that your kids don't have separate bedrooms. So like a molecule, you know, every day this construction is isolating back and forth because these are dynamic vectors, dynamic forces. And you wake up one morning and there's no smell and the sun is shining and the house is beautiful. And you say, no, I'm not going to sell this house because I love this house. And then next day, the weather is terrible, the wind is blowing, the odor from the factory, and you say, no, I have to sell this house. So you isolate, and then finally you come up with the final decision and you sell the house because everything pushes you away from the... So,
yeah. You're just describing my dilemmas. No, it's yeah, I think it's I agree with you. Do you come for a sum up, or maybe do you want to add?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Yes, for a final comment, so we can.
Yes. So basically, the final word is that this provides a more accurate model of how the social systems are constructed, because the mechanics are the same, whether it's a system between an individual and a material thing like a house, or it's an individual and a university that he teaches at, or a corporation that he works for, or friendship, or a marriage. The forces are very different. The origin of the forces are different, but the mechanics of the decision-making process is very similar. So that provides, you know, a model for how it can be, you know, how computer models, for example, could be created. And that's a very basic view of how systems are evolved, even from the animal world to the human world. The complexity of the systems has increased tremendously, but the basic building blocks are the same as they were millions of years ago.
Well, thank you for this reflection. It was not a joke. I had this love-hate relationship with my flat, and I'm sure there were other factors and vectors engaging in that. Well, I want to thank you particularly because you participate as a presenter. Also, Mark Belinsky presentation is available in our website. We have there his video, and at some point we will edit the something like a final product with all the video of the conference to make it available. And if you agree, Mark, I mean, you already agree, but it's already your email is there. So if people want to contact you or keep the conversation, is there. We're very happy that you came here, and we look forward to see you in the RC51. And as the others that are first time comers, like Enrique Santos, like well, like the other names that are around here, and that we are very happy to see you, Brian Martinez. We need more people from different parts of the world, because these challenges requires different perspectives, different points of analysis. So please keep in touch. And I give the mic to our secretary, Manuel Mesa, that although you have not heard him or seen him that much in the conference, he has been behind to make a possible technically all this, and of course you receive lots of emails from him. So Manuel, please turn your camera and also let us know that important information that you have for us.
Okay, thank you, Patricia. Hi, everybody. Well, I was behind the technical controls. And well, this is the time for the avisos parroquiales, how we said in Mexico, all the technical advices. First, if you visit our webpage in sociocybernetics.org, you could have access to our YouTube channel, LinkedIn channel, Facebook channel, Twitter channel. You can follow us there, and we are going to use YouTube to upload all the, well, now it's in YouTube, all the videos of the abstracts, and we're going to upload the conference too. The second, if you are not a member of RC51, we encourage you to join us. You can use the webpage, sociocybernetics.org, to become a member. You just click here, or you can go directly with the ISA International webpage to become a member. If you are a member, you will have access to many great things. You can use our webpage to the conference abstracts, and now is there the PowerPoint from Bernd that we can, if you are very interested in finish, to know what he had to tell us. Our newsletter, access, some other interesting information, our journal, everything is in the webpage. And well, as we said at the beginning of the conference, this is an experiment. And if we are people from Sociocybernetics, we know that feedback is very important for the system. Then there is in the chat now the link for the little survey questionnaire, only 7-8 questions only. Please click. If you can do it now, it's better, because then we forgot, we have a lot of work. Then if you can take now 5 minutes to answer this survey, we're going to be very, very grateful. Please give us feedback. There is in the chat. I'm going to put again. Now there is again. And well, that's it. Thank you for participating. We have very good participation, almost 35 persons every day, between 35, 44 persons every day. Thank you for coming. And well, Patricia, that's it for me.
Thank you, and I think that's it for us. Just to mention, there was someone saying that we need to apply these socio-cybernetic ideas in other parts of the world. We need you there. I mean, you're already there. We welcome members from every part of the world, of course, from New York with Mark to, I think I'm seeing our map, to people from India who is based there. I think it's Ayushi. And of course, we have, I don't know, like 20 different locations. We need to make these observations in real time in these different parts of the world, and then make sense in this shared theoretical framework. So that's the aim of the RC51 at this moment. You can have you have access to the website now. There's the newsletter, the latest newsletter that has been elaborated by our members Toru Takahashi and Andrew Mitchell. And you also have the titles to the special issue that we made last year with edited by Fabio Giglietto and myself, with I think 10 articles from our RC51 members relating to socio-cybernetics, both theoretical and also case studies and applied research. If you are ISA member and you choose to be part of the RC51, which is I mean, the fee is very, very low. The one from RC51 then is another part of the story, but you have access to current sociology, sociological review, I mean, other journals from ISA, and you have also a possibility to publish there. For the moment, thank you to all. This is just the start of the conversation. You will receive a couple of emails from us. And then if you don't want to receive anything else, also we will, I mean, only respect that and keep engaged with all members. But in the moment, make use of all the ideas that you got through this conference and let us know your further work and your further research development. Thank you very much. Thank you to Raija. Thank you very much to Luciano, to Martina, to Andrew Mitchell, who were part of the organizing committee, and of course the international committee members who review the abstracts, and to the RC51 board. Thank you. For me, that's it. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much, Patricia.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you. Goodbye. Okay, goodness.
No estamos acostumbrados a decir nada, estamos todos callados, pero muchas gracias a todos. Fue una gran experiencia. Ah, perdón que hable en español, pero bueno.
No, now open for anyone who wants to say something.
Se está grabando todavía, Manuel.
Estoy cerrando eso, permíteme. Y